So straddle is a big wide-legged forward fold. So extend the legs as wide as you can. And I always like to start this posture out a little bit more yang in its nature. So for the first couple rounds of breath, sitting up nice and tall, pressing the legs down into the ground, flexing the toes back to the face. So you can get a little bit of an active stretch here before we come down into a forward fold. Sometimes that helps to release the muscles, especially in the back of the hamstrings. They usually are a tight one for most students. So after you've lengthened and you've got a little bit of activation through the back of the legs, then start to walk the hands as far forward as you can. Once you have gotten to the extent to which your hands can go, then rounding through the spine if it's okay for the back. If it starts to hurt the lower back or you prefer to, keep the length in the spine as you're here. But you're still going to hold for time, so you'll still get the benefits of the stretch. Then relaxing through the toes and trying to commit to stillness while you're here. So a couple of different options that can make this a little bit easier is to sit on top of a bolster, or even a little bit bigger bolster if you've got the bigger one available. And keeping a generous bend into the knees, so the legs don't have to quite be straight. You can always keep a bend into the knees. You want to take the legs into full extension, but the backs of the knees can plane, rolling up a blanket or two to place it underneath the knee. So you can fully give into gravity at that point, placing one under each knee. So from there, you can always round the spine coming forward. Again, if you need to keep a little bit of length into the spine to protect the back, that's okay. But you also have the option to come down onto the support of a bolster, or also using your blocks in conjunction with or instead of. And again, the blocks can be at any height. This is a nice option to also support the head. You can bring the palms to the forehead, let the forehead rest down into the hands. And of course, you can make this go just a little bit further forward if you start to release some of that tension. And of course, you can always make this much, much more intense by coming all the way forward and down, with the chest down into the ground, no support underneath you. And just coming all the way down into a big, wide leg forward fold. So see how far I go down into it, but probably not that much. Good. So again, you can bring the chest and the belly all the way down to the ground. Head can relax down, and same thing here. You can support the head if you want to, or even come rest onto one cheek if you can get the head all the way down into the ground. So the easiest way to get out of this is to slowly walk the hands back in towards the body. Once you have lifted, removing any blocks that may be in the way, leaning back into the hands, bending into the knees, and then bringing the knees together. One way you can come out of this is to do a reverse tabletop as your counter pose, lifting up through the hips, dropping the head back, or feel free to windshield wiper these shins from side to side.